All right, the final stop on the 2019 Figure 9 multifamily real estate market tour was
Reno.
Yes.
Reno. Biggest
Nevada.
little city in the world. With a terrible name. I don't know. I'm just not a huge fan of the name. I think they should have named it something else. But it's a great town. What a great town.
It really was. Yeah. I'd been through there as a kid off and on, and I was really surprised. They kind of had the elements of all the big cities.
Yeah,
right?
they've done sort of a pick and choose of all the cool draws, but it was really cool. So let's just run through the stats for Reno real quick. Rent growth is 3.4%, which is real solid. Vacancy 4.4, which is the lowest of the places we looked. The job growth is 4.9, so nearly 5% job growth. So that's just runaway. I mean, that's insane. That's the highest of the places we looked at. Population growth is 1.8%, so almost 2, which I'd like to see that a little higher.
Yeah.
But still not too shabby. I mean, 1.8% is really good. So yeah, this one by the stats, by the numbers, was one of our ones we were excited about going into it. So.
Yeah, and with that, I mean, a lot of the stats that caught our attention and definitely were reinforced by spending a little bit of time down there was looking at the job growth. There's lots of new industries there. I think some of our Instagram posts you saw, we found an Apple campus we weren't even aware was there. And Google's purchased some large tracts of land just outside of Reno in the recent history. Obviously, the gigafactories around there.
Biggest building in the world by footprint, second by volume.
They wouldn't let us in, though.
We got within a mile, and they're like, sorry, no.
Yeah. So lots of economic growth, though, and in a lot of different sectors, too. So
the Amazon factories there, or the
distribution center.
Distribution center, right. So.
And then one of the other things that we didn't really have in our notes to review here, but we weren't really expecting was all the university growth and everything going around on that side too. So another big benefit to getting boots on the ground and spending some time in the market. So overall, though, Reno's definitely has quite a few value add opportunities from what we saw.
Yeah, we saw.
There's a few players in that market that are doing exactly what we'd like to do too. So we went and featured one of their properties, and I think they're doing a great job there, and there's definitely more opportunities for that for us too. The location is great, so why don't you hit on that? Yeah,
so that's one of the things I was most excited about was the location. So the proximity to, and I think you're seeing a lot of tech there moving to Reno because of its proximity to specifically San Francisco, but all parts of California there. It's only 4 hours away from San Francisco, so if you're a tech company and you don't like the tax structure in California, or you just need some cheap land like the Gigafactory to build a giant factory on, pop out to Reno, and it's like you say, it's 4 hours. It's a 4 hour drive from San Francisco. You cross the border, new tax setup and everything. You're good to go. And the interstate trucking laws are really favorable. So like you're saying, Google's there testing their cars and different things. So it makes a lot of sense. Location was really huge. It's also really close to a lot of recreation. So we went up to Truckee one night, which is so cool.
It really was.
You got the lake right there. You got ski resorts. Everything seems to be right there. People think of Reno as like couldn't afford Vegas, so we went to Reno for the weekend. But it's so much more than that. It's a big tech town, and there's the UNR. Go Wolfpack, and there's all kinds of stuff there. So location, I think, was really key.
Yeah, and one of the last kind of general highlights on the pros, I think, one of the things looking at the stats when we picked Reno, it kind of really felt like a sleeper market. Like there's a lot of opportunity there, lots of job growth, but maybe not as many people focusing there, and that was definitely confirmed being on site. I think. Just getting a feel for the community. There is a lot of growth and has been in the last few years, and all indicators from what we're seeing, it definitely looks like it, but that does kind of get us to the cons on Reno, was really, making sure that that growth does continue. It is one of the smaller markets we looked at, and I think there's a lot of opportunity to be had, if we're able to get into the market at the right time and the growth continues, then I think we'd be at the the leading edge of that growth wave.
Right where you want to be.
Yeah, and be able to capture some solid opportunities out of that. And one of the biggest cons that I think will impact and kind of ties back to growth is we kind of got the impression that Reno has a bit of an identity crisis.
It doesn't have a signature yet.
Yeah.
Right. Like you think of Austin as like the cool, like sort of weird, and then Portland's like the super weird, and Vegas is like what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, and Reno's kind of. Not sure. It's got the air races. It's got the gambling. It's got the sort of the university. Yeah, it's in flux right now.
They really did incorporate a lot of the cool elements from some of these other communities too.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of the artistic influences in some of the urban areas, like what you see in Portland and Austin a little bit too. But then the Riverwalk in Reno.
It's a big thing. Yeah.
Yeah, like what's in Austin and San Antonio as well. They really have invested quite a bit in that part of downtown. The gaming definitely, it never really felt like it stood on its own. It always kind of seemed like the Reno gaming was just piggybacking off of Las Vegas.
Right.
So overall, I think definitely a solid market. But yeah, the identity crisis was one of the interesting things that we kind of felt walking away from that.
Right, and that's what the city overall. I think and that's more of a general thought. I think when you look at the stats, seeing all the people moving in there and the rent growth and the job growth, that's really the identity crisis. Something you feel while you're there, but it's not having an effect really on the market as much.
I don't think that's a limitation for us when it comes to actually finding deals, but it is an interesting highlight.
Yeah, and they need to have they need to pick something and go with it. I feel like, and I think what's cool is as tech moves in, and we're seeing a lot of that. I think it'll slowly become a tech town. I really do.
Yeah.
I think it's ripe for that, and it's positioned well, not just geographically, but economically as well. So.
Yeah, and you've already hit it already, but a lot of the draw in that community, got Lake Tahoe right there, a lot of all seasons activities and outdoors too, and literally you go towards California and you got a lot of mountain activities. You go towards Utah or central Nevada there, and there's a lot of climbing and other kind of desert activity. All right, so final impressions on Reno. I think overall we like Reno.
Reno's great. Reno's awesome.
Reno's rad.
Reno is rad. That's their tagline. We saw that spray painted on some street art and different things. No, I dig Reno, like say for a lot of reasons, not the least of which is the geographical. We have an airplane flying over. We're in the flight.
Welcome to Alaska.
That's where we live. This is what we do. So yeah, I think geographical location, it makes a lot of sense. All the stats are there, all the market drivers are there. It's not too late in the cycle where you're not seeing a ton of growth. There are some developments happening, but there's still a lot of opportunity in the multifamily value add space. So.
Yeah, and then overall, I mean, I think getting boots on the ground, obviously, looking at the stats, we had Reno on the list, and I personally was most excited about Reno from everything we saw.
Yeah.
And looking at it, kind of stats going in and getting a handle on the community and everything else and some time there, definitely confirmed a lot of that. So I think overall, definitely going to look for more opportunities to invest in Reno.
Yep, we're moving forward there, and we liked a couple of the buildings that we saw, and we're definitely going to focus there, and really excited about it.
So we'll have more info for you on that front, and that wraps the tour and the highlights on each of the different communities. So we're going to do one more quick video kind of summarizing everything and maybe save everybody some time that wants to skip right to the end and just get the summary.
For all you time savers.
Yeah. All right, so we'll see you then. Thanks.